people start. So my name is Thomas Sinclair Sonyakiamo. Super proud to be the one taking you through this live webinar this evening in Nairobi, Kenya. And of course, yes, I want to share with you some information I believe that will impact your life, just as it's written on the screen. And I want to welcome each and every one of you to the fourth revolution. This is where you discover a technology that is literally changing lives, ladies and gentlemen. And by that, of course, I want to dive into a few of what we've actually seen come about during this course of time. And of course, the revolution started with the bartering system. This is the direct exchange of goods or services for other goods or services without the use of medium of exchange such as money. And of course, yes, we've read this in our history books. We understand this, how different societies, communities across the globe managed to actually uh, partake in this. But now, of course, we have the industrial revolution that came after the bartering system. This revolutionized so many things in terms of industry, in terms of growth for different aspects of areas. And it was during the late 1700s to 1800s. And the medium of exchange was fiat currency or paper money, which was first developed in China. But of course, yes, now we still use the fiat currency to date. But I believe most of us right now, the way we interact with this fiat currency or the paper money, we literally don't touch it as much because of what you call the digital revolution or the internet revolution, the third industrial revolution. And this is where we moved from, of course, analog electronics to digital. And the medium of exchange was, of course, e-money or electronic money. We had the introductions of Visas, MasterCards, you name it. In Kenya, we have M-Pesa, which is a global platform. I believe 95% of Kenyans in the year 2020 that passed. Of course, during the pandemic, when it struck, most of us did our transactions either via mobile money or M-Pesa and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to understand is that for every shift in technology, millions and billions change hands, or rather, wealth is created. And with that being the case, I want to introduce you to the fourth revolution, which is the blockchain revolution. Most of us have heard this term, but in definition, blockchain technology being the fourth revolution, still embedded in the third revolution, which is the internet, but all the same, being the fourth revolution, is just a system of recording information in a way that it makes it difficult or impossible to hack, change, or cheat the system. It's essentially a digital ledger of transactions. Why? Because, of course, yes, something I want you to see here, it ensures what we call security, transparency, and decentralization. Most of us, we love when we interact with secure platforms. We love when we interact with platforms that are transparent enough, of course, yes, for trust them. And the other thing, of course, when we, in terms of blockchain, we call it decentralization, meaning there's, of course, no single authority, there's no government whatsoever that can control this particular technology. And that is why it is revolutionary. And as I share this, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can just see that it's a network of computer systems, and transactions are duplicated across this particular blocks, so to speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is just the overall definition of blockchain technology. But let's move on so that you can understand where this blockchain has been applied in terms of money, because literally that is what we want to touch on. That is very basic to life right now, because blockchain technology has done that part in terms of the cryptocurrency space. And cryptocurrency is just digital currency. And even if you don't know what cryptocurrency is, I believe you've heard of this word Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoin is just a digital currency. And during its inception, it came to solve a particular challenge known as inflation. What is inflation, ladies and gentlemen? This simply means that as years go by, as time goes by, the money that you have, which is the fiat currency or the paper money, keeps losing value over time. That simply means the value of what you have right now in terms of the paper money, if you were to transact and get goods or services today vis-a-vis 10 years ago, you'd get lesser of what you're either purchasing or acquiring or getting a service for. And that is what we call inflation, and it's not about to go down anytime soon. And that is why Bitcoin came. It came to solve that, and that's why it's no longer a digital currency known as digital gold. The same way you'd buy land and wait for it to appreciate. It's an asset and also a store of value. And that is why right now you can see from the time Bitcoin started back in 2009 to date, the value has skyrocketed tremendously within a very short period of time. That's under 10 years. And of course, the next 10 is coming. So the other coin is what we call Ethereum. Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen, works as an open source, just like the internet. The internet is open source, meaning anyone can create anything so long as you have access to this particular platform. And the internet, we have what you call applications. You can create apps. You have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, including the app that you're using right now to listen to me, Zoom. And that is why Ethereum, acting as an open source, it allows you to create what we call digital decentralized applications, which have a community of users and also allows you to solve particular problems in the society. Right now, Ethereum, not only it's more developed than Bitcoin, so it's not only a coin, but also acts as an open source for you to create that. And one of an example of where Ethereum has been used is in voting in the blockchain, because it is transparent. We have certain platforms right now using this blockchain technology, of course, using the Ethereum platform to conduct voting. And ladies and gentlemen, that is revolutionary. And of course, the third coin that I'll touch on, which is very, very important as well, is what we call the Binance USD. And the Binance USD, ladies and gentlemen, is just a stable coin. And what is a stable coin? It simply means it mirrors the dollar one for one. And if it mirrors the dollar one for one, it allows you to escape what you call fluctuation in prices in the market in this cryptocurrency space. Why? Because being a stable coin, it allows stability and predictability. For example, the prices of Ethereum and Bitcoin are not stagnant, okay? They keep on changing from time to time. Even as I'm speaking right now, it's changing. But during, let's say, when the values of these coins go up and you want to secure that value, you can convert your Bitcoins or your Ethereum to Binance USD. Then, of course, yes, escape the fluctuation in price or the dip in price, like what happened probably a month ago. And right now, your value is maintained. So that's the beauty of a stable coin. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is the application of blockchain in money. It's a huge space, but that is a snippet. So what are the experts saying? According to World Economic Forum today, the next 6 years, the use of blockchain technology would have increased by a whopping 295,000%. And according to the gentleman that you're seeing on the screen, Warren Buffett, he says that the use of blockchain technology, or rather blockchain technology, is ingenious. This is one person who has created his wealth, of course, off of the digital space. He does not touch anything technology. But for him to say this, is actually on the top 6 richest people on earth all the time, year in, year out. So that simply shows you that, yes, I have been doing certain things in a certain way, but this is where the world is. This is where the world is moving. And that is what we are talking about. So according to the adoption curve, you can just see how people take up new technology, wherever it may be. There's the innovation, takeoff, and saturation. Within these 3 stages, there are 3 kinds of people. There are those who take up this particular technology when it is actually being launched or it's being developed. They are the innovators, the tech guys, the gurus who know that particular technology. And of course, we have the early adopters there as well. But then again, second phase, we have the early majority. This is just now a small fraction of the masses that take this up and now start using it before, of course, the late majority, and finally the laggards who fall in the saturation phase. So this is just a snapshot for you to understand, like, right now, the internet is in the saturation phase. By saturation, it doesn't mean there's zero opportunity in the internet space. It just simply means whether you like it or not, you have to use the internet. Right now, for you to access this Zoom, you have to have access to Wi-Fi or data bundles for you to be here. So ladies and gentlemen, that simply shows you how this particular curve is. But the star that you're seeing right there, we are the heart of takeoff in terms of blockchain technology. So 10 years of innovation, then now we're on the takeoff phase. So let's move on. We have, of course, numbers here in terms of cryptocurrencies, more than 10,000 right now usable cryptocurrencies to date, which have value as well. Then market cap, well over 1.5 trillion US dollars, and the mother of them all being Bitcoin, standing at a whooping 693 billion US dollars in terms of market cap. Ethereum coming second to it, of course, at 284 billion USD. And of course, we're talking about the Binance USD. As you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, the value is literally at $1. So it mirrors it one for one, and having a huge space in terms of stable coin. So let's move on and dive into a snapshot way of you seeing how these particular cryptocurrencies have visual in terms of value and size. We look at the continent we are in, Africa, has a GDP of $2.6 trillion. Kenya alone has a GDP of 101 billion USD. Looking at Bitcoin alone, it can buy this particular country 7 times over. Okay, Ethereum coming in at 293 billion, of course, can do the whole of East Africa. That is just showing you the magnitude of what we are talking about. Then Binance, of course, at 50 billion dollars. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the chart of how these cryptos have been performing, but right now they are just going up and up and up, and they are skyrocketing, and people are literally seeing where this technology is going. So as we move on, there's a topic I want to demystify. One, how to gain and lose in cryptocurrency. The losing aspect, of course, I wouldn't call it losing per se, but things to watch out for as you're in this space. Number one, we call them tokens. And what are tokens? Tokens, ladies and gentlemen, these are just coins that have not yet hit the market. They've not become full coins. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you invest in them before they hit the market. And most of the times, 90% of the times, these tokens do not see the light of day. And that is why it is critically important. I'm not saying that all of them are bad. I'm just trying to tell you that this particular space, you need to do your research, due diligence to operate in it. The second one is what you call mining. What is mining? Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard of this term probably before. And mining was lucrative then when, of course, it started, but you needed capital, intensive capital to do this. It paid off, yes, but right now not as lucrative as before, because multinationals, companies have taken it up. Huge companies, countries such as China have cheap labor, cheap electricity to perform this task. So literally right now, I wouldn't say you'd make a killing in mining as before. And lastly, we have ROI, return on investment programs. And the ROI programs, ladies and gentlemen, this is where they promise you a return of 1% a day, 2% a day. But when they hit what you call critical mass, they pull the rug. So they use the money of the later investors to pay the earlier investors. So for you to actually, when that balance is not there, of course, yes, you understand what happens after that. So ladies and gentlemen, they use the name cryptocurrency to get you in. But of course, yes, you need to keep your eyes peeled and understand that particular aspect. But now, On the positive side, the gaining side, is a lot of things that you can gain in cryptocurrency. Of course, yes, being a very huge platform, so to speak. The gaining side, we have what we call currency trading, or otherwise known as forex trading. And of course, yes, personally, I am a forex trader as well. But for you to participate in this particular space, you need to invest time and money. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it is worth it if you choose to go that route. But you need to also invest so much in your knowledge, invest so much in your the money you pay to actually access the learning of this particular space, because it's just a high level kind of skill. And of course, yes, during this point, you can actually trade the price of these cryptocurrencies as they go up and down. You can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on and so forth in this particular space. But of course, yes, you can gain if you're patient and willing to learn. The other one, of course, we have buying and holding. What is buying and holding? Ladies and gentlemen, buying and holding, this is where you have capital and you buy these cryptocurrencies and hold them for not less than 5 to 10 years. Meaning, if you're buying Bitcoin right now, don't look at it in the year 2026 because it requires you to have, of course, it is capital intensive and you need to be aggressively patient. That's in terms of the buying and holding. So I hope that it is clear. And yes, you can make a huge killing. For the ones who got their Bitcoin back in 2013, to date, right now, they are just smiling because they're in money. Lastly, which is very, very important in this particular space right now, is what we call smart contracts, ladies and gentlemen. Smart contracts are changing the game. And smart contracts, of course, exclusively on the Binance Smart Chain. I'll touch on that. But what is a smart contract? In definition, it is a programming code that is self-operating. It is placed directly on the blockchain. It can never be hacked or stopped. And once deployed, it cannot be changed. We talked of blockchain being secure, transparent, no single authority can own it, no government, no person can claim that this blockchain belongs to me because it is decentralized. But a smart contract is that programming code that is self-operating but placed on the blockchain. That simply means the person who even created that particular smart contract can't do anything about it once it is deployed. And of course, according to Investopedia, it's a self-executing contract with terms of agreement, okay, between buyer and seller being directly written into lines of code. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the definition. Of course, according to Investopedia, you can Google and see more to it, but that is what a smart contract is. So I want to introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to the world's first 100% decentralized smart contract known as fossage. And fossage, of course, running right now on the Binance Smart Chain, which I'll touch on. And this is huge, guys. Fossage is a smart contract that was first deployed, of course, on the blockchain with the second cryptocurrency that was available. And the thing that I want you to understand is that the Ethereum platform was launched back in February of 2020. Then come down the line, September, they launched on Tron, which is also another cryptocurrency. And a month ago, ladies and gentlemen, they launched on the Binance USD, or rather that stablecoin that I was talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, Fossage is not a company. It is a smart contract that is on the blockchain, and it is 100% decentralized. So what is the difference between decentralized project and a centralized one? In a decentralized project, of course, creators don't control your crypto. The admins, there are no admins. Of course, it's a smart contract now in relation to what Fossage is. You can't lose your funds, unlimited income, 100% transparent. But of course, we've been in centralized projects before. We still are in centralized projects, even in the companies that some of us work for. if you're employed, you're in a centralized project. And of course, staff are there monitoring the system. It is subject to bad management decisions. Of course, that's why we change leadership all the time, because of course, man is to error, then you can lose your funds. Of course, we've seen cases where you can lose your funds in centralized projects. You wait for withdrawals. An example, of course, if right now you get a message from your bank that you can't go to the ATM to withdraw any income from your account, literally you have to wait. So that's a centralized project, ladies and gentlemen. But now, of course, now that you know the difference, let's go back into fossage. So what is fossage? Fossage is a smart contract, like I said, that allows you, keyword, allows you to accumulate these particular cryptocurrencies that are there. And ladies and gentlemen, it has 4 programs as fossage. We have fossage X3, fossage X4, fossage triplex, and the fossage X gold. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, accumulate cryptocurrencies. So let's move on so that you understand how this accumulation comes in. And I'll share with you these 2 programs, because these 2 programs on the Binance Smart Chain were launched a month ago, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm super, super excited. Why? Because it has changed or impacted so many lives in less than 1 month. As I'm speaking to you, there are some people who partnered with this smart contract during the launch of this particular program. And right now, I believe they are smiling all the way to the bank or their cryptocurrency wallets. So let me just touch on these 2 programs because they are the first 2 to be launched. But the XXX and X Gold are going to be launched, of course, later on. The XXX is coming before the X Gold. But let me do the first 2. The reason I talked of accumulating is because right now, if you have 1 Bitcoin or 1 Ethereum or 1 Binance, it'll just be 1 Binance at the end of the year, or 1 Ethereum or 1 Bitcoin. But if you're using a smart contract, of course, now through fossage, it can allow you to accumulate more than what you can hold yourself or you can get by yourself. And how does it work? There's the X3 and X4. I want you to look at these 2 programs like a hotel. You've walked into a hotel, you've gone to Serena. It has 2 wings, wing A and wing B. Wing A is called fossage X3, wing B fossage X4. Wing A and wing B have the same rooms, 12-12, okay? But at the same time, these particular rooms have the same value. So picture that room 1 or slot 1 is written 5, and what is 5? 5 BUSD, Binance USD. Remember, I told you it's a stable coin. So it mirrors the dollar. So literally that particular slot is worth $5 or 600 Kenya shillings, so to speak. The second slot is double the value of the previous slot, which is 10. And the third one does the same, double the second. And it goes the same way, same to fossage X4. So ladies and gentlemen, this room, let's say it's a single room, this is a double room, this is a deluxe room, you're going like that. So I want you to have that picture in mind so that you understand what I'm explaining. So for you to participate in this smart contract, you must first purchase those slots. You must own those slots. The beauty of fossage is that once you purchase these slots, you own them for a lifetime. I repeat, you own them for a lifetime. They're on the blockchain. There is no renewal fee. There is nothing like that. That 5 BUSD that you spend is the only money that you'll ever spend for a lifetime, but you own it. So what happens to you if you want to accumulate on these programs? Let's start with X3. I have 2 people on this. I have 2 kinds of people on this Zoom. There are those people who are like the presenter. You love sharing things. When you come across something that can help someone, you don't keep your mouth shut. You open your mouth, you share. And it is through sharing that, of course, we impact lives. So X3 works through sharing, or rather, you refer someone to this particular program, because most of us in this the world that we live in, we love referring people to things. Oh, go to Java, they have good ribs. Oh, go to Ole Sereni, they have nice spas and whatever. So when you do that, you don't get paid when you tell these people to go and do those things. It's those companies or those particular places that do. But right now with the fossage platform, once you own that slot, this is you spend only 5 BUSD. Now, if you share with, let's say, John comes and purchases the same slot as you earn 100% of what John spends to acquire that slot. What happens if you tell Mary? Mary as well, to earn 100%. And finally, we have the third person, of course, not finally, but I want to share with you why the different in shades of colors. The third person, let's say, is Emily. Emily also spends 5 BUSD to acquire the same slot like you. But what happens to what Emily does? It allows you, it gives you what we call a re-entry. And the value of BUSD that Emily spends goes to the ecosystem. Fossage is a large community of a million participants worldwide. And the ecosystem is self-sustaining. So this 5 BUSD goes to another person who actually owns that slot. As a matter of fact, 90% of the time of this re-entry, it goes to the person who shared with you this particular platform as well. Okay? So that is about it. So for every 3, you take home 2. That's 200%. Never seen it anywhere. The smart contract executes this automatically. So this money hits your cryptocurrency wallet immediately. So already you have 10 BUSD just from 2. So the third person now, of course, when it does that re-entry, if your fourth person comes here, you also earn another 100, fifth, 100, sixth, it does a re-entry. So for every 3, you take home 2. The third one, you resets your recycles you so that you can earn over and over and over. And that's how I was talking about unlimited income, or rather you can accumulate these particular cryptocurrencies and in an unlimited manner. So it can allow you now to upgrade to slot number 2, because slot number 2 or room number 2 is double the value of room number 1 or slot number 1. And that simply means also what you're earning is double that. So 100% for the 2, of course, for every 3, you take home 2, the third one resets you, it goes to the ecosystem. So what will make you buy those slots till 12 is because you understand now that for me to actually accumulate cryptos or this Binance USD on this particular room or slot, I need to first buy that slot. So that is very, very critical. So fossage has limited number of slots, but unlimited income. That's why you're seeing you can recycle one slot, like slot number 1, you can recycle up to infinity, because it's over and over for you just doing one thing, purchasing the slot. So let's move on X4. Second category of people I have on this call, there are those guys who say, Thomas, I love this, but I don't love talking to people. As a matter of fact, I don't talk to people. On a lighter note though. But I'd love to participate. I'd love to be part of this. I understand where the world of cryptocurrency is going. I understand the magnitude of what, let's say, Bitcoin did, or these cryptos are doing right now. I've understood that, yes, right now people are pivoting their wealth in this space. But this space is so vast, we have something called smart contracts. And in the next 3-4 years, when this becomes normal, like the way you use M-Pesa, don't say you didn't hear about a smart contract. So this is the world's first, of course. Now on X4, you can accumulate, of course, these cryptocurrencies, but you need to be, number 1, patient. Number 2, the smart contract will allocate for you sales accordingly on how, of course, people are coming into the platform. So that is the beauty of X4. Of course, same to the triplex and the X Gold that are yet to be launched, but on X, which work the same anyway. X4 now, you still need to do the same thing. You need to own that particular slot. But here, for you to complete a full cycle, 6 sales need to happen. These sales, where do they come from? Of course, they come from the fossage community or the ecosystem that has over 1 million participants and growing. So that is where the sales come in. And of course, the smart contract being self-executing allocates the sales for you. And that's why the beauty of X4 and the other programs, you can earn from wherever. You can literally even out earn the person who shared with you this platform, so long as, of course, you own the slot and the algorithm does what it does. But of course, yes, for the people who own X4, if you're a guest on this call, I want to make this clear. You need to be very patient, because this one now is dependent on the activity that is happening in the entire fossage ecosystem. And of course, yes, you've seen people who've earned crazy BUSDs in less than a month on this program. So as I move on, the first two slots you don't earn, they are called your non-paying slots. They go to the ecosystem. And of course, who is the ecosystem? You and I. Of course, any other person who owns that particular slot like you. You earn on the three shaded in each, of course, a total of 300%. That's 100% each. Then the last one resets you just like on X3, so that you can do this process all over again. So ladies and gentlemen, that's 300% of the value you spent on that slot, and you can do this over and over and over. So why would you want to upgrade to slot number 2? Of course, like I said, on X3, double the value, but of course now in X4, now that is triple the value of what you spent, and it works the same way. 6 sales, whether it came from what happened in X3 or wherever, or the entire fossage platform, that is how this happens or populates. So let's move on. That's X3. I'll only probably now touch on the triplex, which is coming soon, coming soon. If you're a guest on this call and you're hearing me for the first time, this is going to be launched in summer. Already the US, they are in summer. So anytime soon, this can be launched, the triple X. And you can actually see, for the slot you purchase, you take home 680% of the value of that slot once this cycle is complete that you're seeing on the screen. And that is so huge. But now, of course, the X Gold, which is now very, very phenomenal, that's over 1,000%. And that is a total of 30 sales that take place within this particular setting. And of course, yes, more than 1,000% of the value you spent on that slot. And imagine if you recycle it over and over and over. So without much further ado, that marks, of course, nearly the end of my presentation. But the question is, how do I get started? How do I become part of this fossage platform or this community? We have recommendations of how you can get started. The highest entry level is when you buy all the slots all together. That's 1212. Buy the entire block. I think that will cost you under 3 million Kenya shillings, or rather 30,000 BUSD. But we have, of course, recommendations. Entry level 1, of course, is 7 on every program. That's a total of 1,270 BUSD. You can see the translation in Kenya shillings. Second recommendation is a slot higher on both programs, like you can see, total of 2,550 BUSD. Third recommendation, another slot higher, 9 equal, you're doing it parallel, 5,050 BUSD. And finally, 10 slots on every program, of course, being the fourth recommendation. That's a total of 10,050 BUSD. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you get started. But this is the caveat. If you're seeing these figures and you're not anywhere around these figures, that does not mean you cannot become part of Fossage or part of the Binance platform. What I usually just tell people is that, yes, you can come in, but of course, yes, the first slot on every program is 5 BUSD. That's a total of 10. That's 1,000 Kenya shillings. I believe every guest or everyone who's on this call can afford to get into Fossage. That's how it is. The second slot is 10 BUSD. So what I'm just trying to tell you, emphasize, is you have no excuse not to be in this particular platform. But as it were, for it to make business sense or economic sense for you, 7 slots and above is what is highly recommended. So let me move on. I won't touch on the Ethereum platform, which is still running, but how do you get this platform on your phone. Number one, you need to create a cryptocurrency wallet. It's free, a BNB wallet. Download what you call Token Pocket from Play Store, App Store. It's absolutely free. It won't take you less than 5 seconds to download it. Secondly, you buy the BUSD where at Binance.com. You actually need to verify your account so that you can buy this particular BUSD. The person who invited you on this call can show you how to do that. And finally, they send you their link to fossage so that you can actually buy these particular slots. If you're using your laptop, highly recommended you download what you call MetaMask. That is the other cryptocurrency wallet you can use that is recommended for your laptop. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stop sharing my screen, or rather not stop sharing, but give you one or two testimonials, or rather stories from people who participated, of course, yes, during this Binance USD launch. And we are still at the heart of the launch. Why? The XXX and the X Gold are not yet launched. So literally we are in that particular phase. So I want to share with you, of course, one account. This is the beauty of cryptocurrency. You can actually see what people have done. I want to show you, this is one of the people I actually helped to get into this platform. And ladies and gentlemen, these are her results. She's managed to do this in under 2 weeks since she heard about this particular smart contract. She's already partnered with 3 people. Results over 705 BUSD in under 2 weeks. You can actually see the number of slots she's gotten, 7 slots, of course, on X3, and you can see what she's done, of course, on X4. So 1 through 5. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see that on the 6th slot and on the 7th slot, of course, yes, she's missed to upgrade, meaning the person who she shared, one of the people who she shared with, has surpassed her, or rather bought more slots than her. So she needs to do, of course, the upgrade. So ladies and gentlemen, that is so phenomenal to tell you that, yes, even you can come in after other people and still participate with this particular smart contract and out earn the person who brought you. So ladies and gentlemen, that is very critical. And I want to, of course, yes, don't know, my screen is not being shared. Kindly type in 111 if you can, if you can see my screen. I've just seen on the chat box that my screen is not being seen. Can my screen be seen? I can see. Kindly let me know. I'm just looking at the chat box right now. Because wow, my screen is not being shared. Let me stop the share, then let me start again. Just a minute. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Can you see it right now? Believe, type in 111 if you can see my screen. I believe on my side it's saying you are sharing screen. Wow, thank you, Flo. Thank you for confirming that. So that means I need to recap again. I need to come back again. Okay, this is what I was sharing. This is one of the people I've actually been a part of in ensuring she joins this particular platform. And this is her account. Of course, in cryptocurrency or this particular space, it's decentralized. You can actually see people's results because it's in the blockchain. And she's actually managed to do 705 USD in under 2 weeks and partnered with 3 people. You can see she's done 7 slots on X3. And of course, if I can scroll down, you can actually see she's done 5 slots on X4. And the ones that you're seeing that have a pink hazard sign is because the person one of the people she's partnered with has done more slots than her. And what does that mean? Of course, yes, this person is now ahead of her, meaning then as well that you can out earn even the person who shared with you this particular platform. So I hope that is clear. And I now want to bring one more person to share their own story, so that we can call it a night. And of course, yes, I'm just sieving through and seeing who is here that I can share with. Since I'm a gent and I've shared my story, I want to bring on a lady. And the reason I want to bring on this lady is because she's on fire. She's literally going everywhere, sharing about this smart contract. I believe you already know who you are. And she works together with one lady on the platform who we call her Shosh. Both of them have a background in the banking industry. They've been bankers, and right now, today, they've actually done more than 6 figures in Kenya shillings after the launch of this particular platform, the BUSD. And I want to bring this lady, none other than Madam Nyambura Maina, you on the call. Madam Nyambura Maina, I know you're excited to share your story. Kindly unmute and go ahead.
Right. Thank you so much, Toma. You can hear me?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you so much for such wonderful presentation. Thank you for breaking it down for us. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, on this call, my name is Nyambura, and I have been in this business, in this particular package since launch night, which is exactly 5 weeks ago. Actually, it will be 5 weeks next week on Tuesday. So it's 4.5 weeks. And it's been very, very exciting. It's an incredible space to be at this moment.
At this moment.
And,
And,
oh,
uh,
there's a reflection. Oh, thank you. There was an echo. So yeah, I'm very excited because the last 4 weeks have been phenomenal for me. And yes, that is exactly my account on the screen. I've been able to accumulate BUSDs, as you can see on my screen. And I've only partnered directly with 6 partners, and I have not even finished laying the foundation. As you can see on my X3 program, I've only invested up to level 9, and on my X4 program, I've also invested up to level 9. And so I'm still in the process of laying the foundation. But the beauty of this program is you determine the income you want. If you're hungry like me, you just go out there and talk to people, share this phenomenon idea with people. People are looking for opportunities to make money, and the right people are going to track you down. And that's precisely what I have been doing. I am not about to stop because I know my future is at stake here, and I have every control over what happens to my future. So I'm just super excited because I'm not the only person making money here. I think of all the 6 people that I have personally partnered with, 5 of them have made some significant gains in the last 1 month. I mean, and honestly, which business do you do and you make that kind of money in a month? So if you're here and you're as hungry as we are, the future is in your hands. So thank you so much, Toma. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Nyambura Maina, for sharing, of course, your results. And of course, you've impacted so many lives. And for the guys who are on this screen, probably I'll just use something if you're a guest. You can actually see on this particular platform, these colors that are shaded here, the ones in blue. And it's different from, of course, the ones that are in a light shade of blue. And if we go to the legend down here, the one in blue is the personal partners that, of course, Madam Nyambura has partnered with. But in terms of spillover from above, the blue, like this blue that you're seeing here, simply means she's actually and even from the people who are in the ecosystem from other countries from above as well. So ladies and gentlemen, yes, the X4 program, you can actually earn from wherever, okay? And you can actually even get spillover from below or from the side. That's the beauty of a smart contract. And with that being said, that marks the end of this wonderful, wonderful presentation. I'll stop sharing my screen And I want to bring on the last screen for the guests who are on this call. I want to close it off by allowing you to make a decision. And the decision is this. Uh, we have three kinds of people. Of course, yes, we have A's, B's, and C's. And our A's are those people who are saying, yes, Thomas, I'm ready to get started. I've seen what this can do. I understand cryptocurrency, even to the list of the knowledge I have, but there's something I understand. I can get started. You're our A. B's, I'm ready to get started, but Thomas, there's one question. Probably I joined in the Zoom 10 minutes after you started talking. I might have missed out on one or two things. Kindly have this question so that I get started. You're our B's. Our C's, not right now. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to this Zoom, to have probably new information if you didn't have this kind of information. And of course, yes, a few years down the line, when you hear about smart contracts, at least you'll remember where you had it first. So thank you so much. God bless. Be great. Do have an amazing evening, depending on where you are. And for those of you who want to meet us physically, we have a location in Kileleshwa. The person who invited you on this call can allow you to meet even Madam Nyambura in that particular setup, and all the other leaders who are on here as well. And every single day at 8 o'clock, this Zoom is live, Monday through Sunday, 8 p.m. So if you didn't get it clear today, jump in tomorrow at 8. And of course, we can do the same, or an impromptu Zoom within the day, so long as it's scheduled. Thank you so much. Do have a wonderful evening. God bless. Be great.